Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Being Imperfect podcast. I'm Shrestha, your host. And oh my god, it has been a while, like hell of a while. And I have been wanting to be consistent with the video podcast so much, and that has only made me be inconsistent. So I woke up this morning and I was like, it's okay. It's okay if I won't be able to film a video episode for a while. It's important that I show up and yap for my podcast like I always did. And I can't let this take a back seat, guys. I cannot. So I have decided that until I figure out how I'm going to be consistent with my podcast videos, I'm going to continue doing the audio format. The reason I wanted to do video content for my podcast is because I also wanted it to go up on YouTube. Because so many listeners or followers from my Instagram kept asking me that why don't you post on YouTube? And it didn't make any sense to post a audio podcast on YouTube. So I gave myself a challenge to do a video podcast. But clearly that has actually faced so many obstacles. It's not like I've not tried filming a video episode before giving up. I did, but I have so many things to figure out. And I think I will be back to video podcast in a week or two, or maybe in a month. But until then, I have decided that I'm going to continue doing this audio versions of it. But before I get completely sidetracked and give you all the updates of my life and what all you have missed in the span of 1 or 2 months since the last time I've posted, I want to quickly um, tell you about this quote which I read this morning, which completely blew my mind. I took a screenshot of it. So let me just go into my gallery and read it out for you. Yeah. Just make it exist first. You can make it good later. So this is me making my podcast exist because if I don't even show up and record audio, video, whatsoever, my podcast won't exist. For it to exist, it needs to have episodes on it. It needs to have me talking to my microphone even if no one is listening. And eventually through practice, through like help, support, technology, I don't know, consistency, I'll become better at it. I'll become good and I can always keep on improving and improvising. So guys, I'm going to give you all the updates about what's been happening, why I've been MIA in past 2 months, etc. But first of all, I want to circle back to today's episode, which is going to be about how comparison is the thief of joy and how we keep comparing our timelines based on societal standards, parents' expectations, our expectations, comparison, social media, and how it is just stripping away our sense of self and joy from life, because life is not about chasing something, comparing. There's always going to be someone who's doing better than you in some or the other part of life. And if you keep comparing, you are just stripping away yourself from your identity and the joy of life. Life is presented to us in a very complex way. Social media portrays life to us in a very high achieving way. We keep comparing ourselves to our colleagues, to our parents, to our family members, etc., etc., and we just make life more complicated than it is. I think I'm gonna quote Ori right now. Like he says, I'm a liver, I live, and I think we all need to be a liver, you know. We all need to actually live the life and nothing else, which is just stay in the present moment, trust the process, and stop beating ourselves up based on something which is external. I know not everything in life is external. I have my own goals, I have my own vision, and I am very passionate and keen to achieve them all. But sometimes you do not control when or how you achieve things. You do not control your timeline. For example, just because society expects you to be married in a stable job with a very nice income by your 20s, like your mid 20s, like 25, 26, doesn't mean you have to achieve that in a certain way or in that certain order or within that timeline. So, what if you're 26 and jobless? I am self employed, trying to make a career out of her passion, trying to find joy in her work. I am trying to make my work joyful. I am trying to make my work something which is around my passion. Like, I'm not saying the job which I used to work was not in the field of my passion. I really, really loved my job. And I think 3 years ago, I decided that I'm not going to ever do something which doesn't bring me joy or which is not any way related to something which I am passionate about or which is not related to my ultimate goal. We all have that bigger picture. So, whatever you're doing right now, if it doesn't align with your bigger picture, like if it's not aligning with my bigger picture, I didn't want to do it. And today, I am trying to record this podcast while juggling multiple things because I want to find that joy in the mundane or in my everyday work. So maybe the timeline which society asks or puts on you is pointless. I mean, we don't have to succumb to those societal standards. But sometimes it's not just society. Like, I have made peace with the fact that I am 25-year old and I do not have a stable income, nor am I anywhere remotely near to marrying someone, nor am I dating someone. I am single. I have a very nice social life. I have friends, I have family, which makes me so, so happy, which brings like joy in my heart, which makes me feel full. I travel. I have been traveling a lot in past 4 months. Sorry, not four, not even 4 months, past 3 months. And I am happy, like, I am so happy that I have been doing some soul searching. I have been going on trips spontaneously, meeting people. I've been like creating memories. My camera roll is full of videos of me dancing, singing, getting tan, jumping in the ocean. I don't know. I can't even express the amount of experiences I have had in the past few months. But at the same time, this crippling anxiety of not being successful, I don't know if it's like a societal standard of success or it's just something which I have in my head. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I am not successful yet. I am a freelancer. I am trying to build my service-based business right now. Plus trying to build also a product-based business in future. Content creating, podcasting, YouTubing at the same time. And I am also enrolled for a few certifications right now. So I'm also learning at the same time. I am also investing in my knowledge. At the same time, I'm traveling. So I don't think whatever I have said in the past minute fits in a box of success or stability. So that sometimes scares me. And that sometimes makes me feel so anxious. Sometimes when I go to bed, I tell myself that it's okay, Shrestha, you're doing great. You have so many things in order. You are happy. You have your friends, your family, and I'm content. But, but when someone comes and asks me, what are you doing? What exactly do you do? It makes me blank. It makes me completely clueless. And I cannot put whatever I'm doing into a single sentence. If I'm speaking to someone who is also a fellow 20-year-old or a 30-year-old, I can actually explain to them under a minute that what I'm doing. And all the responses I've got so far have been very positive. But someone from my family or someone elderly comes and asks me, it just makes me feel so anxious. And I just say that, yeah, I'm working. Like, are you working a job? And then I don't have a response. I'm like, yeah, I'm working a job, but I am self employed. And I don't know, like, what else to say, which is actually very, very anxiety inducing, right? So I do not understand what is actually the timeline. Is it the timeline set to you by society, or is the timeline that you have set for yourself? Because when I was 20 years old, I had a different picture of 25-year-old me. 20-year-old Shrestha imagined a completely different 25-year-old Shrestha, and I don't think I am anyway close to what I've imagined in so many ways. Like, I was And what 20-year-old Shrestha had imagined for 25-year-old Shrestha was in some way societally imposed, I would say. Because I imagine myself in a stable job. I imagine marrying the love of my life. I imagine me having a nice house in a metropolitan city, working 9 to 5. Or maybe I imagine myself owning a business. I really don't know, but I imagine myself doing some of the normal things. So, which is completely clashing with this present version, which actually fucks up with your brain because every day you get up, you take a step forward toward your dream, towards your passion, but there is this inner dialogue within you. There is this little person in your brain who is like telling things to you that, hey, look at you, you have not done enough. What happened to that plan of ours? Aren't you supposed to be married by now? Oh shit, you don't even have a boyfriend. Oh, you don't even have a stable job. You are just beating around the bush, or you have your hands and feet in so many things. Are you even, you know, do you even have clarity? And oh my god, don't get me started about this thing called clarity. Clarity is a small word, but it actually means having everything figured out. I don't have everything figured out. I don't have anything figured out, to be honest. I am a clueless 25-year-old dealing with quarter life crisis. But then again, yeah, what even is timeline, right? What even is the perfect age to have everything figured out? Or what even is figuring out? That's the whole premise of this episode, if you haven't guessed it yet. But yeah, moving forward, I don't know, but past couple of months I've only been feeling behind in life. I've also been comparing myself with other people. I've been comparing myself with my friends, my family. My cousin is going to get married soon. She just got engaged. I have so much pressure from my family regarding marriage. Like, they don't want me to get married per se, but you know, those subtle pressures of arranged marriage. Can't even get, I don't even want to get started about it. It will be a whole rant, maybe in some other episode. But let's take a step back and somehow try to analyze why we actually feel like we are falling behind. So, I have been feeling like this due to multiple reasons. So, and I think the core of it is definitely comparison. But I'm going to get into the depths of comparison on how we compare, where we compare, and why we compare. So whom do we compare with? I think we compare with our friends, our family, which is like our closest circle. Then we compare with people on social media. Then it is also social media. LinkedIn is a place where people announce or declare their professional achievements. Okay, I love LinkedIn because I feel I learn so much on that platform. But also, LinkedIn has been giving me so much anxiety lately that, I mean, obviously, because all of my colleagues, my batchmates, my childhood friends, my schoolmates, all of those people have been sharing either a new job or a promotion or I don't know, a new business, a hike, or moving to a different country or a graduation. And that is actually stressful, especially for a person who has just quit her job and is trying to figure out what she wants to do in life and trying to build a career from scratch all by herself. So it feels in some way that, you know, you are a failure. It made me feel like I'm not enough. And then you start questioning yourself. I have started questioning myself in so many levels that, oh, if she got it, like, why didn't you? Or maybe you didn't try enough. Or maybe you don't have it in you, or you don't have what it takes. And all of this actually bothers you more when you are 5 6 months into the career which you're trying to build and you're struggling. And I know when I got into this whole field of content creation, freelancing, building my own business, I knew that it was going to be a long game. I knew that things don't happen overnight. I'm not going to have 6 figure income, 10 figure income overnight. I knew it, but as the time is passing by, it's actually like feeling as if I am failing in every part of my life. So, what you see on social media is just a half truth. People just share their accomplishments, people never share what they are actually going through or their downfalls. You know, nobody ever shares if they lose a job, nobody ever shares how many months they have been unemployed, right? Until you go digging, you never know, right? So everything looks better on social media. And then again, coming to the Instagram part of social media, where everybody is sharing how they're getting married, how they are, I don't know, traveling abroad. I don't know everything. So I feel like it's just an unrealistic expectation which is set when it comes to social media. Even I don't share my bad days. I have been having tough time in my head lately from the past month, but I haven't shared that on social media. I have only shared all those nice travel reels, and it's easy to think that yeah, she's just having the time of her life. She can work from anywhere, so she's just happy traveling, which is what we want people to think, right? We never want to show the bad side. I know a lot of people share stories of their downfall, share stories of their tough times. Like I am right now sharing a part of my hard time, but it is always that we compare ourselves to people's, brighter side, right? So no two lives are same, yet we still treat them like a race or a comparison. Some person who's doing good with their job might not be doing well with their family, might not be doing well in their health, might not be doing well with other aspects of life. You never know what someone is going through. Nobody highlights that on social media. Even if they do, it's not the full picture. You can never know what they went through. So, yeah. Also, I would like to say there's so many people who actually share their stories of how they battled trauma, depression, disease, etc. And I think those people are very, very empowering. And I suggest we follow such people instead of following people who would constantly make you feel low. If you're feeling like whenever you see someone's post that you feel this, heaviness in your heart or as if you're not doing enough, just unfollow them. No hard feelings, nothing wrong in that. You're just protecting your peace. So make social media a space where you would like to hang out, not a space which would always constantly bring you down. And if you feel like you're using social media a lot, uninstall it. Uninstall it for a couple of weeks or months if that is what it takes, or days. We don't have to be extreme. Do a weekend detox if that's what you require, but feel free to uninstall, guys. I mean, there have been times I have uninstalled Instagram for, I don't know, months. So if any platform is getting a bit toxic for you, just uninstall it for a couple of days, weeks, or months and see the difference. Something which is no longer serving you should not be a part of your life. Cut it off. It's okay. I recently uninstalled food delivery apps from my phone. Like just yesterday, a dear friend of mine suggested that I do, because I've been wanting to cut out on outside food. I wanted to like get back to my health and everything. It has been a hell of a ride, and my health has definitely taken a backseat. So this month I have been trying to incorporate little habits to get back to my health, to feel myself again. So first step I wanted to take in terms of food was to cut down or minimize outside food as much as possible. So I have deleted food delivery apps. I have even deleted quick commerce because it's hard to admit, but I'm gonna. I was really, really addicted to chips. I was really, really addicted to blue lace. Coming back to the point, which was just take off things or let go of things which no longer serves you. 2025 is the year of snake in Chinese lunar calendar. I think I'm saying it right. And it means letting go. So 2025 is the year of letting go, and there's nothing wrong in letting go of things, people, places, energies, whatever, which no longer serves you. So it's a very difficult concept for me. We all think we know what letting go means, but it's more in depth. I'm trying to realize it, read about it, become more self aware about it. So I am actively trying to let go of so many things, beliefs, emotions. I can't even get started. So, coming back to the point, let go of accounts that no longer serve you, let go of people that no longer serve you on social media, and let go of the social media apps that no longer serve you for your own good. Next, mindset shift. I think no matter how many times we talk about mindset shift, it's still not enough because it is one of the most important pillars of your life, no matter in what aspect you're trying to change your life. Mindset, I think, is the only thing which it comes down to. Success is not linear. different people peak at different times. Some people find the love of their life at 18, get married at 25 and get divorced at 40. Some people find the love of their life at 40, get married at 45ish and live happily ever after. So timelines are very complicated. Not complicated. Timelines are actually simple, but they are multiple. They are not linear. So one person's timeline is completely different with other person's timeline, and just stay true to what your timeline is. Okay? Stay true to what your goal is, and if you feel happy by the end of the day, I think that's all that matters. And it's okay if you don't also. We overthink so much. We keep overthinking, overthinking, overthinking. And I'm telling you, that is the killer of joy, creativity, and progress and growth. Overthinking is the killer of everything. Pressure is the killer of everything. Beating yourself up just because you're not doing a certain things will not make you do that thing better. It will only make you not do it at all, right? So stop beating yourself up. I have learned this the hard way, and my therapist made me realize that I am not doing anything because I am pressuring myself for not doing anything. I don't know if this makes sense, but think about it. You keep beating yourself up, giving yourself all those negative talk that, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you are not working out, you're unhealthy, and then, you just fill your plate up with so many things because you've been lagging behind and you just want to get back on track, and like you just want things to go back to how they were, and you end up doing nothing because you have just filled your fucking plate up with things you can't handle. Let's go one step at a time. Let's like focus on the mindset. Let's rest. Okay, let's rest. I feel like whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel like you're not doing good, whenever you feel like you're in a slump, just rest. Do the opposite. Whenever you're unproductive, I think try not to be productive again. Just be completely opposite of productive. Okay, rest, clear your head, let that go, let all of that tiredness, that overwhelm go. Just rest. I took like a 2 week long break. 1 week I went on a vacation. Second week I did some work, like I did a lot of work, but like I rested, I slept, I took afternoon naps, I let myself sleep beyond like my usual sleep schedule. I ate, I did nothing, and that helped. You're not behind. And I'm telling you, not everybody has that privilege to rest. I had the privilege to rest and I did. So maybe if you get a chance to take a vacation, take it. And maybe if you're just doing the bare minimum for now, don't beat yourself up and do the bare minimum. Like just go to office, come back, eat, sleep. Yeah? Do that for a while, and then you will see that creativity will keep coming back to you. And the reason why I'm fitting this in the timeline concept is because I have been comparing my timeline with other people, and that has trained me, and that had made me so unproductive that I can't even tell you. I felt behind and I forced myself to get ahead, whereas there was nothing to go ahead of because it's not my timeline. Something which is not mine is not mine, right? That made me feel very, very overwhelmed. That made me feel burned out, and that led to complete loss of creativity and productivity and motivation. I remember I just sat down to script a podcast episode and I couldn't come up with one single idea to jot down. I couldn't come up with any idea to post on my Instagram. I was only coming up with travel content because that's what I've been doing lately. And my page was not only about travel. My page was about wellness. My page was about sharing my journey, but I didn't have that in me to share my journey. And I felt very imposter syndrome like because my page was about wellness and personal growth, and I no longer feel myself. I no longer feel like I am qualified enough or capable enough to come in front of the camera or speak to a microphone about these things because I was really feeling behind. I was feeling like I was failing, and I was feeling like I was not worthy of speaking to an audience in general. So that's what burnout does to you. That's what too much pressure, unrealistic expectations, comparison, and not being true to your own timeline does to you. So maybe just take a step back. Very easy to say, very hard to follow. Took me more than a month to come to this place. And I'm not even kidding. It didn't happen overnight. It only happened naturally. It happened very, very naturally because I let it happen naturally. I forced it. I tried to put a deadline to it. I tried to negative talk myself out of it. I tried to pressure myself out of it. Nothing worked. I just let it go completely, like for real, because what I was doing is trying to hold on to it and still not being able to hold on to it, trying to get ahead of it, but still failing at it and not doing anything at all. So the overthinking was only leading to inaction. So I consciously chose inaction, aka rest, and it naturally came back to me. Ideas started flowing, creativity started flowing, productivity came naturally. I was able to focus for longer hours. I was no longer in front of my laptop physically and mentally somewhere else trying to beat myself up, saying that I'm such a failure. I can't even get into all the things which I was telling myself. So please do not compare. And comparison is the killer of joy. Comparison is not only the killer of joy, it's the killer of you. It will kill you. I mean, what kind of life is it when you are just being so hard on yourself from within and it is eating you up? I could literally feel like these thoughts, the heaviness inside of me was chewing my insides up, and I felt dead. And that deadness was showing up on my face, my body, my health, etc. So take it slow. Take it slow. Okay. Let's just get to the final part of the podcast, which is how to stop comparing and start owning your journey. Like I said, step one is going to be unfollow and mute your comparison triggers. Okay. If you're following someone or a brand who are triggering you, unfollow them. If it's a friend, restrict them, mute them. Okay. In real life, try not to meet them. Try to get the focus back on you. Water your own garden. Okay, focus on your grass, right? Make a very healthy, luscious lawn for yourself so that you don't have time to focus on the grass, which is greener on the other side, because your own fucking grass will be so green and with little flowers, like with daisies and all, that you won't be focusing on other people's grass. Even if you do, you'll only focus to appreciate them, to compliment them, and to support them, but not to compare them with you. Okay, that's the energy which comes if you focus on yourself. Step 2, focus on micro wins and personal growth. When I say micro wins, what do I mean? If you're trying to get back on track, if you're someone who has lost your routine, let's say, if you are a person who is a 9 to 5 employee and has lost completely their sense of self or discipline, has not been working out, is dehydrated, etc., etc., I think the micro win here would be try to get back your water intake, right? Start with a goal, set a 2 liter goal, and then accomplish it. Do that for a week or two, and that is a micro win. Okay, focus on that. Those micro wins will compound into a bigger win, and eventually you will stop feeling so bad about yourself. So, focus on your micro wins and your personal growth. Step 3, define your version of success, not society's. Okay, and now also question that if your version of success is in some way influenced by society, because 20-year-old Shreshta's version of success was somehow influenced by society. Even my version of success today is somehow influenced by society, but it's all about how much you want to accept and how much you want to let go of, right? It's nothing wrong if your version of success is matching the version of society, but do not compare and own your version and your timeline, right? Also, a lot of people say this, that the only comparison is you versus you. Just compare with yourself who you were last year. But that thought didn't doesn't sit with me well now. It sat with me well a year ago, but it doesn't sit with me well now, because a year ago I was doing so much more in life, like in career, relationship, health, fitness. I don't know. I think I was an all-rounder at that point. I was like hitting the gym. I had clear skin. Oh my god, I had clear as fuck skin. It was glowing because I was only eating fresh food. So lots of green vegetables, no junk at all. If I'm comparing myself to the past version, I'm only going to feel bad again. So please do not compare. Just don't compare. Compare yourselves with how you feel, not in terms of accomplishments, right? Last year I didn't travel as much as I traveled this year. Last year I was not around my family. So, in other aspects of my life, maybe I'm doing better this year, but in some aspects of my life, I'm not doing better this year. So, even self comparison can be toxic. So, I'm not going to give that advice. Sometimes do not take any advice, like so personally. Follow something which resonates with you. And the advice of comparing yourself with the version of you last year doesn't resonate with me right now, because if I compare myself with the person I was last year, I'll only get depressed. And I think that's the mindset I have built over the years, that, oh, I should be doing better than what I was doing last year. And that's the reason why I think I felt so low. Not social media, not family, not people. Nobody made me feel as low as I made myself feel by comparing myself with the past version of me, because that version of Shrestha wanted different things, and this version of Shrestha wanted different things. And this version of Shrestha exists because that version of Shrestha wanted something and she executed it. She wanted to quit her job and follow her dreams and build a life that would actually make her live without regrets. Her decisions manifested this version of me, which might not be as accomplished as the previous version, but I am not going to compare. I'm going to trust my vision, my future vision, the baby Shrestha's vision, the teenage Shrestha's vision, and just keep going. So I would say no one is truly ahead or behind. We are just on different paths, and sometimes those paths may not align with the past version of you. You may not want the same things you did last year, and that's completely okay. Do what is true for yourself, be happy, trust in yourself, and keep working hard. All of this is not an excuse to not work hard. Work hard, work your fucking ass off, because if you do not work hard for yourself, who will you work hard for, right? If you do not stay true to your vision, your dreams, your goals, then who will you fucking stay true to? So instead of comparing, take a moment, appreciate your journey, appreciate your bravery. Okay, note to yourself, Shrestha, appreciate how fucking brave you are, how fucking fearless you are, and it takes guts, okay, to follow your passion and to start something and do it all by yourself. So stop comparing, take a moment, appreciate, be grateful, and remember, what is meant for you will never pass you. On this note, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I will be back next week with an audio or video, probably. We never know, but until then, check out my Instagram, check out my YouTube as well. I started vlogging recently. I'll be posting more vlogs if you want to have a deeper look into a day in my life or how my life looks like. I am not as serious on my vlog, guys. I'm very goofy. So if you want to see that side of Shrestha, go to my YouTube channel, follow me on my Instagram, and do not forget to follow me on Spotify as well. See you next week. Bye bye. Take care. Stop comparing, stop overthinking. Have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.